Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Washington Building Congress Craftsmanship Awards. Featuring this year's inductees to the Craftsman Hall of Fame. And featuring the Star Awards. Honoring technical excellence, visual excellence, and excellence in the face of adversity. Tonight, we recognize the dedicated men and women who keep our industry moving forward through their creative ingenuity, precision, and the special skills associated with quality craftsmanship. It's all tonight at the Washington Building Congress Craftsmanship Awards.
Thank you for joining us tonight for the 64th Annual Washington Building Congress Craftsmanship Awards presentation. My name is Brett Snyder, and it is my honor to serve as the 82nd WBC Chairman of the Board. We are proud of this exceptional program that presents a unique opportunity to recognize the individual skills of the hard-working men and women in our industry. Unfortunately, we had to cancel the March 13th awards banquet, and we were not able to hold a live event in the time of the year due to the size of our audience. We are excited to present this comprehensive 2020 Craftsmanship Awards video presentation for your viewing pleasure. This professionally produced program features all the components of the live event, including well-deserved recognition of our sponsors, the Hall of Fame induction tribute, recognition of the individual Craftsmanship Award winners, the Star Award nominee videos, and the announcement of the 3 Star Award winners. I would like to congratulate all the 2020 winning craftsmen and thank our outstanding sponsors, nominators, and the Craftsmanship Awards Committee. This event would not be possible without your ongoing support and participation. This year we are proudly inducting the 13th WBC Hall of Fame class. The Hall of Fame prominently recognizes the best craftsmen in our industry. It is my pleasure to introduce WBC past chairman and Foundation Chairman Mike Barricari, who will present the 2020 Hall of Fame induction.
Thank you, Brett. Each year, up to 5 craftsmen may be nominated by the WBC Craftsmanship Awards Committee to be added to the Craftsman Hall of Fame. Established in 2008, the Hall of Fame currently has 41 exceptional members. Selection of inductees is based on the number of awards a craftsman has received, the individual's time in the industry, and other special considerations. It is now my honor to recognize the following outstanding craftsmen to be inducted into the Craftsman Hall of Fame. These individuals have proven over the course of their careers to be leading examples of what it takes to succeed in our industry. The 2020 Craftsman Hall of Fame inductees are Jose Pifas Ambriz for concrete, David Doolin for doors and windows, Tony Franklin for SITEWORK. It is time to take a few minutes to enjoy the Hall of Fame inductees video montage.
The Washington Building Congress is pleased to present the Craftsman Hall of Fame. This honor is in recognition of enduring commitment, exceptional skill, quality craftsmanship, and extraordinary dedication.
I'm Dave Doolin. I grew up in Annapolis, Maryland, second generation iron worker at a local 5. My father was an iron worker before me.
My name is Tony Franklin. Grew up in the Fort Washington area. Been there all my life. I've been with Clark Foundation 28 years.
I'm Jose Ambriz. I grew up in Michoacan, Mexico. Came here in 1993. I was 16 years old. When I was in Mexico and with my family, we were working on the farm with my dad and my others, brothers and sisters.
The work was kind of born into me, I guess. I mean, when I was a kid, I was always building stuff when I was 4 and 5 years old with a hammer and a nail, and sometimes I got a backhand because I put a nail somewhere that I wasn't supposed to when I was a kid.
When I grew up, I always liked to fix things. I like to take it apart. And my mom, dad, they come home and I got the garage with mini bikes and bicycle parts all tore apart in the garage. So once I started thinking I missed the fixing, man, so I stuck with it, and that's what I chose. My mom worked for a GM in like shipping and receiving, and my dad he owned his own dump trucks. So I watched him and my mom get up every morning and go to work. So that made me want to work hard to do the same thing.
I was actually thinking about getting into the trade in the Baltimore area. That my father basically told me, no, if you're going to be an iron worker, it's going to be in Washington, D.C. And it turned out to be the best thing that ever could have happened for me.
I started working at the R1 and Carnegie. I started sweeping the floors, pointing molds. After a few years, they promoted me and I moved to a steel shop. I went to another shop, on a plaster shop. When you're working with plaster, that's amazing after you've done something. For this company, I think that's the most important thing. It's where it comes the product, and that's where it comes the quality on the shop.
And I seen the sign said Clark Construction was hiring. I started as a laborer, $7.25 an hour. I stuck with it, and here I am now.
A lot of times it's the challenges that you have on the project. The Wilson building, for example, was a curved curtain wall on an existing slabs that had many different sizes, a lot of in and outs, and made it very difficult to install. And then the units were 28 feet tall too, so that was quite challenging with the weather and things like that, trying to handle those things.
I get to work 2 hours early, every day. I'm on site. When I get there, I get myself ready, prepared, paperwork, walk the site. I get up at 3 in the morning, I'm out of the house at 4, and I get to the site 4:30, 4:45. Doing it 28 years, same, getting up there early in the morning.
I remember one that's American Pharmacist. That's a very particular job that I really enjoyed what we did. One other job was Trinity, because there was a challenge just to have it done, probably one piece. Like in Trinity, we had to cast like 3 or 4 different pieces just to get a one piece finish. That was very challenging on one of those jobs.
The Star Award was won on the Arena Stage project, and that was a cable stay wall actually off of timber. The cables actually didn't hold the glass, the cables actually held the timbers up. And we had to design the wall to go into or onto the timber, 40,000 square feet of glass, and none of it was square. It was all canted out at 4 degrees, and it went around as a serpentine.
The challenge is what I like. I like a challenge. They always put me on the tough jobs. Once I started running my own jobs, they give them to me, really. We done like 1,000 Connecticut. That was a good project. Louisiana Avenue was a good project. And we just did one recently, 655 New York Avenue.
Of the architects. Now in these times, they have so many weird things, all kinds. They don't want anything like flat building all the way around. They want everything different. Every building they want different. The MGM, but the challenge to cast those panels, it was complicated.
If you want to do this work, you got to deal with the weather. Because we outside. There's no inside work. We outside most of the time. But we do all type of stuff like putting in struts and steel, so it's a lot of burning and welding. People think it's just driving power. It's the whole foundation. It's a lot of work.
We're always looking for young apprentices to get into the trade, and it's been one of the hardest things to do, believe it or not. I really don't know whether you can make these younger people love the job.
What really changed in the field is the workers. I work with older guys coming in, this new generation coming in. Seems like they not focused enough, want it bad enough. So I try to work with them, let them know it's here, the opportunity's here if you want it, it's worth it. When I get them around me, I try to train the best I can, show them what I know, so they can put what I know, what they know, and make their own way.
I've been seeing a lot of difference between before and now. A lot of the young people, they not have that interest to learn like we did before. Always, I'm able to help anybody who wants to learn. But if you don't want to learn, or some people like doesn't want to work, that's a little complicated to teach them how to do this job.
The Star Award was really something. I mean, that was a sense of pride. I mean, for everybody involved, it was a team that made the project come together, and the right people got recognized for it. I'd like to win a couple more.
Y'all ought to keep this program. It's nice, it's beautiful. It makes people really want to work hard to try to better themselves and do a good job in their career.
When I was driving with even a friend, my family by my side, when I see a building that I know already I was involved onto it, so I told them, this building we did.
I think it's a great thing. I really do, because there's a lot of projects that you think all your hard work is going unnoticed. With the Craftsmanship Awards, it's a chance for you to get recognized, and it gives you a sense of pride in what you do. And in some way it makes you look for that on almost every project that you do.
When I moved here and I started working with this company and get this award, I mean, you yourself, I mean, feel very, I can't explain that, but I mean, I was very feeling very good about the award.
I won 1 Star Award, but like 8 Craftsmanship Awards. And the first one I got, I said, I'm gonna get more of these. It made me feel like a celebrity. Yeah. It's just nice that somebody appreciates what you do.
You know, when I look back and think of it all, I never imagined that I would be in the Hall of Fame for doing what I love.
It is with great pride that we present this year's inductees to the Craftsman Hall of Fame.
What an amazing tribute to our new Hall of Fame members and our great industry. Mr. Ambrose, Mr. Doolin, and Mr. Franklin, please enjoy your commemorative plaques. Congratulations to all of you.
On behalf of the Washington Building Congress leadership and staff, thank you again for supporting the 2020 Craftsmanship Awards program. The Craftsmanship Awards Committee organized the inaugural awards program in 1956. Over the years, the Craftsmanship Awards program has become one of the most recognized events in our industry. We are proud to host the premier event recognizing the individual skill of craftsmen. Over the last 63 years, 12,700 men and women have been recognized for their craftsmanship on more than 3,300 winning entries. The WBC Craftsmanship Awards program has come a long way since the 7 initial awards were presented in 1956. It is now my pleasure to introduce the 2020 Craftsmanship Awards Chair, Greg LaRosa of Dynaelectric Company, along with Vice Chair Joe Dobbs of IBEW Local 26. Thank you for your outstanding contributions towards making the Craftsmanship Awards program a resounding success again this year.
Thank you, Brett. Joe and I are pleased to serve as co-MCs for this 64th Annual Craftsmanship Awards ceremony this evening. We would like to provide a brief overview of the results for this year's program. First, we would like to recognize the members of the Craftsmanship Awards Committee, to include Karen Cotton, David Cox, Sean Frazier, David Galen, Kristen Heffernan, Lynn Maya, Nick Salvi, and Chris Sweeney. Thank you for your support and participation.
We would also like to extend special thanks to WBC staff members Rita Reese and Steve Kenton. We would like to once again acknowledge the significant contributions of the sponsors who helped make this program successful. We truly appreciate your support. Thank you for sponsoring the 2020 Craftsmanship Awards program.
The Craftsmanship call for entries was sent to a broad group of industry firms last September. WBC received 259 nominations in 10 trade categories from SITEWORK to finishes. A complete list of categories and subcategories is available on the WBC website. With outstanding support of 172 volunteer judges, 39 teams went out in early January to evaluate the entries. The evaluations were compiled, results tallied, and 85 winners were selected based upon the judges' scoring.
Following the selection of award winners, a separate panel of 3 judges was selected to evaluate the Star Award nominees. 8 of the top winning craftsmanship entries were nominated for the top level awards this year. We would like to acknowledge and thank everyone who volunteered to judge this year. Your support is vital to the success of this program.
We will be announcing the Craftsmanship Awards winners in 4 groups, with each group including 2 to 3 entry categories. These 4 group presentation segments will be preceded by 2 Star Awards nominee video segments. Group 1 will include the category of finishes, concrete, and doors and windows. Group 2, metals, mechanical, and special construction. Group 3, woods and plastics and masonry. And Group 4, electrical and site work.
Following the award winner presentation, we will be announcing the 3 2020 Star Award winners. It's now time to view our first 2 Star Award nominee videos in this categories of Special Construction, Scaffolding, National Air and Space Museum. Finishes, Ceramic Tile and Terrazzo, National Museum of the United States Army.
Hi folks, I'm Robinson. I'm the project manager for JD Belfield on the site, and I just wanted to point out this picture for one important reason. It's the only chance you're going to get to see today what the phased installation looked like. So when you think of a temporary roof enclosure, you have to first think about the fact that we have a steel superstructure that is connecting to the existing facility. And it's passing loads into the existing facility's columns by virtue of column trees or stub outs that you can see there at the bottom. So one of the biggest challenges of this job was saying, how do we create a temporary roof for them to do work inside the building while the outside is being demolished, and then when we're done it looks like we were never there. Oh, and by the way, the gallery is 125 feet wide. And you have to account for 160-mile-an-hour wind loads and snow drifts up to I think 5 or 6 feet. So right now we're on the bottom floor of Gallery 102, and above your head you're going to see a suspended dance platform that's completely suspended from the space frame of the existing structure, so that the steel subcontractor can get up there and do upgrades to the existing space frame while that work can continue below. So So we're on the south side of Gallery 102, and what you can see here is what we call the south gable. It's an introduction up close and personal to our fabric system. It consists of a vertical track system that has a rope welt with a fabric that attaches inside. These systems are tested and designed to hold up to the snow loads, wind loads, and all the different loads that are imposed on a building throughout time of its existence. There is no welding on this entire system. It is completely removable. It will actually be removed and reinstalled in a further zone in phase 2. So this material will leave the site, it will be stored for a period of time and then brought back. 100% of what you are seeing is bolted.
My name's Mary Pesic. I am an engineer with Clark. This is the National Museum of the United States Army. I'm very proud to come back to this project I helped with last year. I was here for 8 months. I'll tell you about the terrazzo process. The contractor was David Allen. You see a pile of kind of look like pebbles, like white pebbles, and they would mix it in a mixer with epoxy-like material, and then they would place it on the ground in the correct order. So as you see, this magnificent seal has, beautiful colors to show the Army seal. So after they placed the material in the ground, they would grind it with a big grinder. And then once they were completed with the grinding process, we would walk it with the architect and document all the punch list items. So if there were any blemishes, that we could fix, if it was dirty, if it was scratched, or any pinholes or anything like that, take care of those items. So we had to make sure the grid was level too, that the metal grid was just so before we placed everything. They put a sealer on it, and then we wait for that to dry, and then we protected it so that work could keep going. We did this lobby in pieces, so we actually started, if I remember correctly, we started with this half over here, and then we moved to this side. We did it in segments so that we could continue work around it.
We are excited to recognize the first set of award winners in the categories of finishes, concrete, and doors and windows.
In the category of finishes, ceramic tile and terrazzo, Carlos A. Amaya, Ridi J. Vasquez Arias, Edgar A. Carreto Ramos, Fidel A. Sandoval Mendoza, Marcos U. Villafuerte, with Boatman and Magnani, Inc. Project, General Dynamics Headquarters. In the category of finishes, ceramic tile and terrazzo, Reynaldo Andrade, Ludwig Portillo, Freddy Bisaccio, with R. Brady Associates, Inc. Project, Portals 5. In the category of finishes, ceramic tile and terrazzo, Desiderio Andrade, Ivailo Borisov, Guido Oscosiri Claros, Edgar Guzman Mérida, Pablo Cesar Condori Perlas, Ana Torres Smith, with ATS Studios, LLC. Project, Carnegie Library Apple Store. In the category of finishes, ceramic tile and terrazzo, Ricardo Rosa, Enrique Torres, with David Allen Company. Project, National Museum of the United States Army. In the category of finishes, ceramic tile and terrazzo, Viswas Alba, Alex Gavarrete, Telly Kutris, Tony Martinez, Vince McCoy, with Eris Tile and Flooring, LLC. Project, Portals 5. In the category of finishes, drywall, Ronald Diaz, Bill Dick, Elmer Monterasso Avila, Hector Pineda, Ricky Rogers, with Bradley Applications. Project, 6th and Historic Synagogue. In the category of finishes, drywall, Ben Carper, Rick Finocchiaro, Mike Fleener, Roger Rocha, Mark Schneibolk, Jill Schneibolk-Wolfrey, with Form Construction Services, Inc. Project, Host Hotels and Resort, HQ. In the category of Finishes, Painting and Wall Covering, Christine Davies Anderson, Jonathan Castro, Rolly Oliveira, Tim Phoebus, with Hales & Howe, Inc. Project, Arlington House, the Robert E. Lee Memorial Preservation. In the category of Finishes, Plaster, Máximo Soto Alvarado, José M. Tapia Escobar, Pablo César Condori Perlas, Melitón Soto Quirós, Maximiliano Ledesma Soto, Elmer Ferrufino Zurita, with ATS Studios, LLC. Project, DAR Museum Gallery. In the category of Finishes, Plaster, Christine Davies Anderson, Jonathan Castro, Rolly Oliveira, Tim Phoebus, with Hales & Howe, Inc. Project, Arlington House, the Robert E. Lee Memorial Preservation. In the category of Finishes, Plaster, Windsor Arevalo, Jimis Cruz, Marvin Fuentes, Orlando Rivera, Jose Rocha, Marco Simon, with C.J. Coakley Company. Project, Kennedy Center, The Reach. In the category of Finishes, Plaster, Ronald Arevalo Diaz, Delfín Cayapa Pazzi, Elmer Monteroso Ávila, Héctor Pineda, Jesus Soto Soto, Santiago Trujillo, with Bradley Applications. Project, National Museum of the United States Army. In the category of Concrete, Cast-in-Place Concrete, Roy Cruz, Heriberto Camacho Hernández, Daniela Holguín, Miguel Rivera Portillo, Donald Thurston, Candelario Torres, with Christman Mid-Atlantic Constructors, Inc. Project, Boston Quarter Retail Renovation. In the category of Concrete, Cast-in-Place Concrete, Jaime Amaya Hernández, Eric Alexander Chapa, Hugo A. Del Cid, Carlos Méndez, Jonathan Ramos Lopez, Jamie Sheftick, with Miller & Long, D.C. Project, Capitol Crossing Buildings Garage. In the category of Concrete, Cast-in-Place Concrete, Douglas Guerra Bonilla, Juan A. Carranza Portillo, Jose N. López, Oscar A. Mendoza Méndez, Alex Montiel, Mike Smith Sr., with Miller & Long Company, Inc. Project, Capital One Center Garage Podium and Corporate Events Center. In the category of Concrete, Precast Concrete, Armando Ambriz, Carlos Ambriz, María Ambriz, Raúl Sendejas, Antonio Reyes, Pedro Reyes, with Arbin and Carosi, Inc. Project, Portals 5. In the category of Doors and Windows, Doors and Hardware, Michael Grimes, Moises Peraza Núñez, Miguel Savillon, Jaime Valencia, Oscar Valencia, Justin Wilson, with ISEC, Inc. Project, Kennedy Center, The Reach. In the category of Doors and Windows, Exterior Glass, Eric Barriga, Rafael Cordero, Victor Liefke, Alejandro Loyola, Elmer Navarrete, Manuel Ramirez, with Service Glass Industries. Project, West Half. In the category of Doors and Windows, Exterior Glass, Yolan LeBlanc, Nick Otalivo, Grant Bayancourt, Pat Roach, John Weir, with Ferguson Neudorf Glass. Project, 4747 Bethesda Avenue. In the category of doors and windows, exterior glass, Tony Grossi, Yolande LeBlanc, John Newdorf, Nick Potalivo, Scott Richards, with Ferguson Newdorf Glass, Project 655 New York Avenue Northwest. In the category of doors and windows, specialty features, Esteban Cervantes, Austin Craw, Joel Healy, Wilmer Oliva, with Innovo Construction, LLC. Project, Washington Monument Visitor Screening Facility and Repair and Elevator Upgrade.
Let's take a moment to enjoy the second video segment showcasing this year's Star Award nominees in the categories of Special Construction, Rain Screen, the Heights Building, and Special Construction Rigging. National Air and Space Museum.
Good afternoon, I'm Matthew Richards from Calvert Masonry. We are at the Heights, or the Wilson School, a brand new high school put in the by the Arlington Public County Schools. If you look back at this corner here, this is what we call the pivot of the building. This is kind of the concrete structure. This is where all the steel comes together. This is where everything is really supported throughout the building with a lot of steel truss, a lot of concrete, a lot of tonnage. We call each floor a bar. I'll refer to them, there's 5 floors, call them each bars as they fan out. The top part of each bar actually attaches to the bottom part of the next bar. This is a brick rain screen. This is not your traditional brick and mortar. How this works, how it attaches back, you have steel metal supports or steel metal clips that attach back to the drywall. You then have brick trays, long horizontal trays that actually span anywhere you see brick. They're all snapped into a steel tray behind it. Each of the brick is specially molded so that it locks in and snaps in. So it actually is a pretty tight fit. A cool feature from this rain screen, this is the largest depth system ever installed for this brick. It's called the Corium brick. It's about a foot from the drywall back to the face of brick. These soffits, just on this pivot alone, there's about 12,000 brick between these 8 soffits that you see. And as we come around, you may have seen it on the way in, there's a big feature one on the entrance to Wilson that's just 6,000 brick in its own. So it's just a lot of brick soffits on this building. You'll actually see at the top part of each of these bars, the top 3 feet of brick is attached to the floor above. Another interesting part about this is there's no cement in this mortar. It's all a lime base. It's supposed to be a self-healing, very malleable type mortar. It's an historic point-up mortar. It allows for more movement because of the rain screen design, because it's all cantilevered on metal. It's a little more forgiving. What's interesting about here is each building, when you get to these intersections at the end, comes in at a 22.5 degree angle. So it's very tight. We actually went through a few scenarios. We even did some shop drawings to prefab these inside corners because of the tight angle. This is about 40 feet in the air, 60 feet to the top, this 4-floor brick soffit. We had 3 different Fracco units that we set up with about 1,200 square foot of coverage just to get this soffit alone, not even to get the face, up top, just to get the underneath. And there is about 6,000 brick just alone in that soffit. This definitely takes a little bit more time to install. This is only 34,000 square feet of brick, which in itself, we've done jobs that are 50, 60,000, but it still took a long time because of the amount of work, the amount of metal that you're installing. And I think we installed in the neighborhood of 10,000 feet of linear feet of metal on the job. And we've actually had a couple architects who have even noticed this building and are starting to design some buildings with the Corium brick. Certainly a one to be proud of, and we hope to do more like it.
Thank you for coming to our job site, to one of the most exciting projects in town. Last year, 7.5 million visitors came to this amazing museum. In the past 6 months, every single working day, we have put $500,000 worth of construction every single day.
I think the thing that's interesting about this project that makes it a little bit different than others is that we do have to keep the museum open while it's going on, and that it's still full of artifacts. So it's not just a construction project, it's also an artifact move project, and that's definitely added a layer of complexity.
So one of the challenges was we've got to depopulate all of the artifacts in the building. For this half of the building, it's somewhere in the neighborhood of 17,000. I mean, these are fully weighted aircraft. They're not small replicas and lightweights.
So I'm Kyle Nolan, the CPM for the move contract for CSC. So I'll use kind of this graph and I'll kind of get down. The building's in 7 zones overall up above. When we started on the move side, zone 1 and 2 is where we were. In the garage, they were all the way to zone 6. So while we were actually taking things to West Terrace, as Russ just mentioned, we had to expedite the base construction reinforcement. So we did all the FRP around the columns, additional steel reinforcement, because we couldn't even get some of the planes out of the building at that time.
My name is Russ Dusek, and I work with iWay. I designed and executed, along with my team, all the rigging that was related to the project. This is much different than anything else I've worked on. I've moved a lot of artifacts. But what was truly amazing was just the number of people involved and the coordination effort that had to happen and all the different disciplines that had to come together to ultimately be able to lower the DC-3.
So we are now standing in Gallery 102, one of the 3 main big atriums that are in the Air and Space Museum. And there were, I believe, 8 airplanes hanging here that were some of the largest in the entire collection of the Air and Space Museum. And they all were installed here while the museum was being built, and the museum was finished around the artifacts. Russ, do you want to get into the specific rigging challenges of these artifacts?
This is some of the, like he was saying, this is some of the biggest artifacts that we had to deal with. Once it was lowered to the floor, these artifacts were big enough that I additionally had to come up with rigging submitted and the same process to disassemble them, because just the wings were on the DC-3 were too large to just a few people grab and take off and put on a cart. But once again, circling back to what I think everybody keeps saying here is that the coordination effort on this extremely large project was just astounding that it went as smoothly as it did, and it did go very smooth.
Now, we would like to recognize our second set of award winners in the metals, mechanical, and special construction categories.
In the category of metals, metal panels, Rick Dickens, Ron Neff, Tyler Vogel, David Watson, with Tecta America East, LLC, Project National Museum of the United States Army. In the category of metals, miscellaneous metal fabrication, Michael J. Burros, Oscar Flores, Andreas Papas, Jose Villatoro, Robert Windsor, Nicolas Sorica, with TLP Steel Erectors, Project Tegna. In the category of metals, ornamental metal, Noe Carballo, Luis Céspedes, Eric Garcia, Troy Knotts, Jason Taylor, Byung Yoon, with Emerald Ironworks, Project JBG Smith Headquarters. In the category of metals, structural steel framing, Jeffrey Collier, Anthony Capusta, Randy Keller, Robert Ocasio, Keith Ritalik, Paul Swigert, with Crystal Steel Fabricators, Inc., Project National Dwight D. Eisenhower Memorial. In the category of metals, structural steel framing, Scott Christensen, Hung Huyen, Howard Johnson, Richard Johnson, Jonathan Reed, Jaciel Vargas, with Superior Ironworks, Inc., Project Capital Crossing. In the category of metals, structural steel framing, Noe Carballo, Luis Céspedes, Eric Garcia, Troy Knotts, Jason Taylor, Byung Yoon, with Emerald Ironworks, Project JBG Smith Headquarters. In the category of metals, structural steel framing, Sam Kaufman, Henry Duncan, Brent Elliott, Ronald Fitzgerald, Christopher Motes, Tomas Pasierb, with Steel Fab Inc., Project Capital One Hall. In the category of metals, structural steel framing, Russell Bell, Chuck Jones, Mark Stryker, Jim Yowell, John Yowell, Mike Yowell, with Maryland Fabricators, Inc., Project City Ridge. In the category of Mechanical, HVAC Piping, Tariq Gebloui, Josh Green, Ben Herkus, Steve Lenoweber, Todd Owens, Tom Shoemaker, with Heffron Company. Project United Therapeutics D-Domo Project. In the category of Mechanical, HVAC Piping, William Abelard, Donald Gu, Chris Lacasse, Sal Molina, Jimmy Patton, Richard A. Smith, with Shapiro and Duncan, Inc. Project Innova Ludun Phase 2B Patient Tower. In the category of Mechanical, HVAC Piping, Ian Brady, Daniel Cook, Sonny Edwards, Joseph Haynes, Daniel Hansen, Jeff Schwabline, with Southland Industries. Project National Museum of the United States Army. In the category of Mechanical, HVAC Sheet Metal, Aaron Ittenbach, Russell Johns, Daryl Milsteed, Jimmy Redding, Ben Rowe, Ray Sprouse, with ADJ Sheet Metal, Inc. Project Carnegie Library Renovation. In the category of Mechanical, HVAC Sheet Metal, Navarro Blakes, Greg Friedman, Wayne Monroe, Ray Ostenso, Kevin Ramsey, Bobby Roberts, with Southland Industries. Project National Museum of the United States Army. In the category of Mechanical Plumbing, Bob Hawk, Michael Hawk, Sean Masamacha, Cody Snyder, Harold Snyder, Tim Williams, with North Star Fire Protection. Project 6th and Historic Synagogue. In the category of Special Construction Demolition, Dave Kavanaugh, Jeff Gayon, Melvin Solis, with Celtic Demolition. Project 1050 17th Street. In the category of Special Construction Historic Culvert, George Armstrong, Octavio Hernandez, Edgar Martinez, Tránsito Nolasco, Victor Rodriguez, Jose Sarabia, with Anchor Construction Corporation. Project 44th and Reservoir Road Rehab Culvert. In the category of Special Construction Rain Screen, Marcus Go, Chris Lemon, Derek Taylor, Rich Sunyoger, with Calcroth Roofing and Sheet Metal, Inc. Project Innova Ludun Phase 2B Patient Tower. In the category of Special Construction Rain Screen, Walter Calderon, Cando Gonzalez, Oscar Hernandez, Jose Martinez, Armando Pineda, Andrew Taylor, with Calvert Masonry. Project The Heights Building. In the category of Special Construction Roofing, Obed Hernandez, Ariel Lemus, Victor Lopez, Freddie Navarrete, Andrew Tybor, with Wagner Roofing Company. Project Annapolis Post Office Restoration. In the category of Special Construction Scaffolding and Rigging, Davey Andrade, Antoine Boykins, Benji Coffey, Ron McKinney, Robinson Whitaker, Dennis Wilson, with J.D. Belfield Enterprises, LLC. Project National Air and Space Museum Revitalization. In the category of Special Construction, Scaffolding and Rigging, Walter Aristondo, Benji Coffey, Brett Friedel, Eric Guthrie, Mamerto Hernandez, Robinson Whitaker, with Scaffold Resource LLC. Project Restoration of the Jefferson Memorial. In the category of Special Construction, Scaffolding and Rigging, Ming Chen, John Chip Daly Jr., Russ Dusick, Dave McIntyre, with I. Weiss Holdings, LLC. Project National Air and Space Museum Artifact Move and Logistics Coordination Services.
Let's take a moment to enjoy the third video segment showcasing this year's Star Award nominees in the categories of Masonry, Exterior Stone, Carnegie Library Renovation, and Woods and Plastics, Architectural Millwork.
So everybody, we're here at the Carnegie Library. So this was originally, Andrew Carnegie donated this to the Washington, D.C. It was open to the public in 1902. We went in here, it was complete restoration and cleaning of the outside of this building. Every surface that you see today, Lorton has touched. All of the dental, this entire facade was completely restored from the top to the bottom. There are 18 windows around the project. All of them had completely new pediments. They'd all pretty much dissolved over the 120 years. So all the windows were restored in place with the frames, and Lorton was able to come in and they carved all new 18 pediments. So each one of those were replaced with new from the same quarry up in Vermont. All the solid bronze rails is one complete component, and we had to come up with a plug detail that was water carved by Lorton that had to fit exactly in with the stone, the bronze handrail, all of it with the intent of you never ever noticing it.
The cleaning of the facade was done mainly, there's two different components. General cleaning, which is a detergent cleaning. There was a separate detergent for the marble and another detergent for the granite. But then we found out that there was the building was very heavily stained. It hadn't been cleaned for who knows how long, and that was not enough. So we ended up using the Rotec Vortex system, which is a combination of glass beads and water. It's an abrasive but non-abrasive system. That removed pretty much all the yellow stains throughout. The other element of the building, the restoration element, is all the carvings. All the pediments that you see now are all new pediments, all 18. Every single one of them was hand carved by our carvers in-house and then fitted into the column capitals.
The access into the building, we had to lower the grade for ADA access, and what that did when the new pavement was lowered, exposed the dirt and the unfinished stone that had been buried underneath the old sidewalk. So Lorton had to come in and take measurements and recarve all new pieces to be able to slide into place. This is a clear example where the new grade is now down here. So this whole stone now had to be recarved, and the old stone came to about here. So we took that out and then put in the new stone to replace it to get it down to the finished elevation of the sidewalk. This main element here is where you really get that pass-through between the modern and the classic of the building. This whole entrance to the building took about a year really of development to get what the design goal was to an actual product. What they were able to accomplish was quite astounding.
In the lobby, we have these columns that are difficult because we fabricate them in the shop, and then we make field joints in the shop so that we can use band clamps and glue them together in the field and then touch up the seams. And the goal there is so that we don't see the seams. The stain work on this is a muted, milky type wash, which is achieved by putting an aniline dye stain on. And then it has a pretty flat top coat finish. And there are 4 or 5 coats of finish. And they're sealed and back sealed so they can mitigate the movement as much as possible. And here's some surrounds for the mailboxes. You may or may not notice that these panels are sequence matched and numbered panels. And you'll see that this veneer leaf is next to this veneer leaf. And if you go around the room, you'll see a repeating pattern all the way around the entire room. And they even have these pieces, which they pulled a few out of the sequence of these other pieces and put them on these, and you'll notice that they match up horizontally across the whole room. Over here we have quartered European white oak, and again these panels are sequenced, and there's very incredible consistency in the grain. So the coordination of this hardware was a challenge, because they don't make hardware for 4-inch thick doors. We called this job portals, because all these entryways all the way down the hall. 373 entrances. One of the challenges on a project like this when you're doing artificial color is to keep it consistent. I started this company 38 years ago, and I'm very impressed because I know how difficult that is.
Now we would like to recognize our third set of award winners in the Woods and Plastics and Masonry categories.
In the category of Woods and Plastics, Architectural Millwork, Santana Brown, Carlos Escobar, Joan Manny Fretes, Eduardo Peraza, Jose Quesada, Miguel Savillon, with ISEC Inc. Project National Museum of the United States Army. In the category of Woods and Plastics, Architectural Millwork, Phil Burgess, Moon Hwan Chang, Peter Harp, Yong Boom Lee, Charles Neal, Eric Ortiz, with IBS Millwork LLC. Project Carnegie Library Renovation. In the category of Woods and Plastics, Architectural Millwork, Tai Pham, Michael Poland, Anthony Quaranto, Singh Ratana, Jim Viles, Burt Ward, with Jefferson Millwork and Design. Project CGI Headquarters. In the category of Woods and Plastics, Architectural Millwork, Joel Cabanban, Brian Cross, Kenneth Edwards, Wes Hamby, Mike Lee, Mike Stockenberg, with Gaithersburg Architectural Millwork. Project Wheel. In the category of Woods and Plastics, Architectural Millwork, George Bowling, Justin Kraus, Archie Dodson, Paul Francioli, Anthony Orr, Stephen Sperling, with Gaithersburg Architectural Millwork. Project McKinsey & Company. In the category of Woods and Plastics, Architectural Millwork, Jonathan Bowser, Mike Johnson, Daniel Valencia, with Allegheny Millwork. Project Great American Restaurant, Tyson's Corner. In the category of Woods and Plastics, Architectural Millwork, Adolph Bethia, Carrie Detra, Tim Eastman, Julio Arbaiza Flores, Orlando Green, Joseph Jankowski, with Worcester Eisenbrandt. Project Arlington House, the Robert E. Lee Memorial Preservation. In the category of Woods and Plastics, Architectural Millwork, Nelson Delgadillo, Carlos Gomez, Frank Hockman, Mike Reef, Aruna Sopa, Hung Vo, with Gaithersburg Architectural Millwork. Project Portals 5. In the category of Woods and Plastics, Architectural Millwork, Maximo Garcia, Patricio Garcia, Liliana Haskins, Bruno Montano, Walter Rivera, with Potomac Architectural Millwork. Project West Half. In the category of Woods and Plastics, Architectural Millwork, Brian Cummings, Mike Daly, Frankie Jordan, Tony Maldonado, with Washington Woodworking Company. Project Host Hotels and Resort HQ. In the category of Woods and Plastics, Architectural Millwork, Pat Kelly, James Maldonado, Tony Maldonado, with Washington Woodworking Company. Project Akin Gump. In the category of Masonry, Exterior Stone, Carlos Ramiro, Ramiro Carrillo, Jose Games, Edwin Reyes, with Rupert Landscape. Project The Boro A&B Rise Bolden Verse. In the category of Masonry Exterior Stone, Daniel C. Kozak, Ronald S. Wondolowski, with Boatman and Magnani, Inc. Project, Private Residence. In the category of Masonry, Exterior Stone, Cándido Abundes, William Ángel Arevalo, José Ramón Casal Campos, Francisco Castro Freijo, Manuel Rial Pérez, Iván Cieiro, with Lorton Stone LLC. Project, Carnegie Library Renovation. In the category of Masonry, Exterior Stone, Mauricio Vieira Bonilla, Gary Cobb Jr., Joe Cieiro Garcia, Ciro Cardona Granados, José Carlos Cerqueira Mariño, Josué Melgar Portillo, with Lorton Stone LLC. Project, National Dwight D. Eisenhower Memorial. In the category of Masonry, Exterior Stone, Vicente Guevara, Ray Harley, Bob Markoff, Arnulfo D. Orellana, Miguel Queseda, with Calvert Masonry. Project, 4040 Wilson Boulevard. In the category of Masonry, Interior Stone and Marble, Juan Manuel Merino Gomez, Francisco Lorenzo, Cesar Menjivar, Juan Morillo, with Lorton Stone LLC. Project, Capitol Crossing. In the category of Masonry, Interior Stone and Marble, Miguel A. Diaz Fuentes, Victor Lemus, Daniel A. Mazariego, with R. Brady Associates, Inc. Project, Portals 5. In the category of Masonry, Interior Stone and Marble, Juan H. Aparicio, Donadine Mejia Bonilla, Michael Geisler, Patrick Kiernan, Jose Ordonez Murillo, Wilver Zavala, with Rugo Stone LLC. Project, 655 New York Avenue Northwest. In the category of Masonry, Interior Stone and Marble, David M. Fitchett III, David B. Kirby, with Boatman and Magnani, Inc. Project, General Dynamics Headquarters. In the category of Masonry, Unit Masonry, Carlos Cruz, Humberto Espinosa Tapia, Blake Papas, Michael Papas, Tranquilino Villegas, with Telligent Masonry LLC. Project, Ripley East, Solaire 8250.
Let's take a moment to enjoy the final video segment showcasing this year's Star Award nominees in the categories of Electrical Lighting Systems and Electrical Special Systems. Both nominees were the Kennedy Center, the REACH Project.
I'm Charlie DePhillip. I was one of the general foremans out here with J.E. Richards. We're at the REACH project. It's very complicated trying to get through a lot of the building to make sure everything was fed properly and all the systems operated. So there's a lot of time spent in coordination. We have over 3,000 hours just in coordination with the structural engineer and the designers. So as you walk through, you'll see a lot of illuminated handrails, a lot of LED tape lighting in them, all with remote drivers. We had to coordinate with the Synergy Metalwork company to make sure we have proper raceways to get into the handrails, to make sure that we were able to feed everything, have the proper clearances. A lot of down lighting, a lot of up lighting, a lot of artwork lighting, lit glass, trying to illuminate the space. One of the issues we actually ran into through the inspection process is there wasn't enough lighting. There wasn't enough emergency egress lighting. So a lot of these handrails, we actually had to go back and redesign, figure out new ways to get more light output out of them. A lot of these art pieces that you see around here are donated. They won't be here forever. They'll come back and put a new piece in. They wanted to have the functionality of being able to move lights and aim with and make whatever they want happen later on. Altogether, we have, I think, around 57,000 hours in here. Like I said, I touched foot out here October of 2015, and I pulled off October of 2019. So it was about 4 years out here. All right, so now we're outside of the Reach, out on the upper plaza. There's a lot of lighting outside here, illuminating whether it's the landscape, the glass of the building, artwork throughout the space. Okay. So this is the pedestrian bridge that connects the Kennedy Center from the other side of Rock Creek Parkway. Throughout the whole handrail system on one side, we have puck lights installed that'll illuminate the entire bridge so that people can make it across safely at nighttime.
My name is Ken Higgins. We're at the Kennedy Center, the Reach expansion project. I'm going to walk you through the life safety systems expansion that we did with the existing Kennedy Center, how we tied into the existing space, the conflicts that we went through with the new build out. Everything here is an all concrete building pretty much. Everything had to be in line as per architect. Very strict and high-end architect requirements on this project. Right now we're inside the elevator lobby inside of the Reach. One of the conflicts throughout the project was coordination. As you see with the walls through here, it's either glass or it's exposed concrete. Above us is a drop plaster ceiling where we had conduits turned down and we exposed to where we needed to for smoke detectors, for elevator recalls or anything like that. The system is a complete Class A system. There was not a single box that was lost during this install. We had a motto out here that if we could get air through a conduit, we were going to get wire through that conduit. Everything was architecturally placed. All in all, by the time it was done, had over 8 miles of cable. In order to network this whole expansion panel, it started off as being conduit and FPLP cable. We got most of the pipe ran and it got changed to networking to be MI cable. That was a first for me. Have never worked with 18-2 shielded MI cable before. And there was about 3,200 feet of that to get that to the closest panel. We've got the events pavilion right in front of us. This is all done in concrete, roughed in, prior to concrete being poured. This is all still being fed from where we originated downstairs. Different loop, different circuits, but still being controlled by the same location. We were down to a 1/16 of an inch trying to get everything in line. And like I said, this is boxes in the concrete into forms and then them pouring concrete on top of it. Planning ahead, that's the biggest thing. That's what made this work.
Now we would like to recognize our last set of awards winners in the electrical and site work categories.
In the category of electrical lighting systems, Evan Daly, Marc Gerzon, Mike Noble, Jean-Pierre Roch Musalam, Kyle Suddeth, Ronald Suddeth, with Power Solutions LLC. Project Host Hotels and Resort HQ. In the category of electrical lighting systems, Dwight Bennett, Mike Conlon, Rick Curl, Adonaldo Jacob Martinez, Daniel Swing, Josh Young, with Dynalectric Company. Project General Dynamics Headquarters. In the category of electrical lighting systems, Jason Courtney, Charles DePhillip, Eric Figueroa, Matthew Hallahan, Francis L. Martin, Aaron Stepler-Craig, with J.E. Richards. Project Kennedy Center The Reach. In the category of electrical, power generation, distribution, and switchgear, Derek Clark, Dave Mouse, Mark McDaniel, Travis Repass, Brian Seiss, Dave Williams, with Varco Mac LLC. Project Sixterra DC2 Reliability Upgrade. In the category of electrical, power generation, distribution, and switchgear, John Jenkins Jr., John Jenkins III, Francis Stransky, Andy Vega, Robert Walker, Anthony B. Wilson, with Power Solutions LLC. Project Raging Wire VA4. In the category of Electrical, Power Generation, Distribution, and Switchgear, Jason Jenkins, Tim McDaniel, Ted Sparshot, Charlie Sutton, with Singleton Electric Company, Inc. Project FDIC Electrical Upgrade. In the category of Electrical, Power Generation, Distribution, and Switchgear, Barry Brittenham, Mark Carter, Bill Eaton, Chuck Renwick, Chris Smith, Don White, with Singleton Electric Company, Inc. Project Fort Belvoir Secure Administration Operations Facility. In the category of Electrical, Power Generation, Distribution, and Switchgear, Andrew Bean, Jose Orlando Cordova Cubias, Bob Estepe, Eric Harbour, Jerry Knight, Matt Tomsko, with Singleton Electric Company, Inc. Project Corvallis Treatment Plant Electrical Improvements. In the category of Electrical, Power Generation, Distribution, and Switchgear, Derek Bumgardner, Sam Bumgardner, Steve Krim, Ronnie King, Mark R. Miller, Kyle Pullen, with Dyna Electric Company. Project Lou Doon Center Building 1A. In the category of Electrical, Power Generation, Distribution, and Switchgear, Alton Bear, Joseph Eels, James Lusby, Roy Mayer Sr., Joseph Stakem, Fua Taamai, with Dyna Electric Company. Project Capital Crossing. In the category of Electrical, Power Generation, Distribution, and Switchgear, Adam J. Bowles, Philip H. Bueller IV, Matthew S. Knotts, Kyle S. Murray, Randy A. Sansbury, Jeremy A. Woodall, with Miracle Electrical Contractors, Inc. Project Central Utilities Plant Modernization and Upgrade Project. In the category of Electrical, Power Generation, Distribution, and Switchgear, William Brandenburg, Rodney Holcomb, Gary Lee, Joshua Martin, Todd Stevens, Jeffrey Woodson, with J.E. Richards. Project Washington Adventist Hospital. In the category of Electrical, Special Systems, Justin Bond, Jim Downing, Herb Holler, Tim McDaniel, Joe Robertson, Brian Shaw, with Singleton Electric Company, Inc. Project Corvallis Treatment Plant Electrical Improvements. In the category of Electrical, Special Systems, William Artis, Jeff Baggerly, Marvin Barnett, Tanya Filkins, Kevin Hagan, Doug Leggett, with Dyna Electric Company. Project Lou Doon Center Building 1A. In the category of Electrical, Special Systems, Robert Cooksey, Ryan Gouveia, Kevin Sothard Jr., Ed Smith, Justin Stone, Romaine White, with Limbach Company, LLC. Project SICPA. In the category of Electrical, Special Systems, Jonathan Armstrong, Rodney Holcomb, Martin Lang, Joshua Martin, Sean Sperry, Jonathan Spivey, with J.E. Richards. Project Washington Adventist Hospital. In the category of Electrical, Special Systems, Charles DePhillip, Eric Figueroa, Matthew Hallahan, Richard Henry, Kenneth Higgins, Michael Simons, with J.E. Richards. Project Kennedy Center The Reach. In the category of SITEWORK, Underpinning Foundations and Excavations, Nolan Adams, Victor M. Alfaro, Nick Castile, Jaime Rodriguez Guevara, Anthony Riviello, Eric Tyler, with Quality Pipe Cleaning Company. Project Suburban Hospital Campus Enhancement Phase 2. In the category of SITEWORK, underpinning foundations and excavations. James Baisden, Stephen Harris, Mike Hibbert, Jamie Hoya, Oscar Mejia, Carlos Morales, with Burkle & Company Contractors, Inc. Project City Ridge. In the category of SITEWORK Utilities, Eduardo Garcia, John Gwynn, Steve McCarty, Kevin Murray, Callan Myers, Juan Villanueva, with Garney Construction Company. Project outside Route 66 Germantown Road 24-inch water main.
Now for the moment we have all been waiting for, the announcement of the 2020 Star Awards winners. In 1992, WBC past chairman Darryl Ripito created the Star Awards. Star Award winning craftsmen will be recognized for exhibiting the highest level of expertise in their trade. 8 Star Award nominees were selected from the 85 Craftsmanship Award winners this year. Nominated craftsmen exceeded established criteria to achieve a level defined as exceptional in one of the Star Award categories. The 3 Star Award categories are Excellence in the Face of Adversity, Technical Excellence, and Visual Excellence. Star Award winners were selected by a panel of 3 industry professionals with expertise in different aspects of the commercial construction field. We would like to extend a special thanks to our Star Award judges. Allison Andrews with the M Group, David Labe with Balfour Beatty, and Barry Mark with Capital One. And now, we would like to take a moment to individually recognize the Star Award nominees.
For woods and plastics, architectural millwork, Portals 5. Electrical lighting systems, Kennedy Center, The Reach. Special construction, Rain Screen, The Heights Building. Finishes, ceramic tile and terrazzo, National Museum of the United States Army. Electrical special systems, Kennedy Center, The Reach. Special construction, scaffolding, National Air and Space Museum. Masonry, exterior stone, Carnegie Library renovation. Special construction, rigging, National Air and Space Museum. It is now our pleasure to announce the 2020 Star Award winners.
The Star Award for Excellence in the Face of Adversity goes to National Air and Space Museum Revitalization for scaffolding. Congratulations to the winning craftsmen. Debbie Andrade, Antoine Boykins, Benji Coffey, Ron McKinney, and Robinson Whitaker, and Dennis Wilson with J.D. Belfield Enterprises, LLC.
The Star Award for Technical Excellence goes to Kennedy Center, The Reach, both lighting systems and special systems. Congratulations to the winning craftsmen, Jason Courtney, Charles DePhillip, Eric Figueroa, Matthew Hallahan, Richard Henry, Kenneth Higgins, Francis L. Martin, Michael Simons, and Aaron Stepler Craig with J.E. Richards.
The Star Award for Visual Excellence goes to Portals 5, Architectural Millwork. Congratulations to the winning craftsmen, Nelson Delgadillo, Carlos Gomez, Frank Hockman, Mike Reef, Aruna Sopa, and Hung Vo with Gaithersburg Architectural Millwork.
Before closing, I would like to take one last opportunity to thank everyone for joining us. Greg, it is my pleasure to present you with the outgoing Craftsmanship Awards Chairman's gift. This has been a challenging time for everyone, and you were able to orchestrate an outstanding program.
Thank you, Brett. It has been my honor to preside over this awards program that is so important to our industry and myself. We look forward to presenting this amazing event live and in person next year. Congratulations again, and thank you all of our winning craftsmen, Hall of Famers, and Star Awards winners.
As demonstrated here tonight, our industry takes great pride in quality craftsmanship. Thank you for supporting the WBC, and thanks to everyone who made this event possible.
We hope to see all of you in person next year.